Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of habits. Today's beer is going to be a Scottish beer and it's going to be by the Harviestoun Brewery. I've not had any of their beers except the bitter and twisted, which I don't get anymore unfortunately, but I started getting some Harviestoun beers again. And the beer for today is going to be the Harviestoun's Old Engine Oil. I know it says porter on the label, which is a new thing because it usually doesn't, and it isn't a porter, it's an old ale. So that's quite strange. It's always been labelled as an old ale, but now it says porter. That's quite strange. And yeah, I've also got their Ola Dub, which is should be pretty good, which is also an old ale. And it's the Ola Dub 12, the smallest or youngest, you could say, of the bunch. It's aged in 12-year-old Highland Park whiskey cask, and you can also get a 16, 18, 20, 30 and 40 versions. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's an old ale, and it says here on the back, this rich, lubricious black beer reminded Harviestoun's original brewer of the engine oil he was familiar with having worked for Ford. A modern take on the 19th century porter style. It is complex, powerful, but elegant. Distinctive notes of chocolate and coffee lead to a bittersweet aftertaste. Enjoy with strong, hard cheese, slow-cooked lamb or black pudding. Best served slightly chilled. And it's in 6%. But I don't get why it says porter, because it's never been labelled as a porter. But maybe that's a new thing from the brewery. I don't know. We'll find out if it's a porter or an old ale. Doesn't smell that porter-like. Pretty cool cap here. The Harviestoun cap with a mouse, which is also on the bitter and twisted. Let's get it poured into this wine tulip glass. I haven't used one of these for a while, so I thought I'd use this for this review. It looks quite viscous actually. It's actually quite dark, which I didn't expect at all. It is pitch black, the color. I don't get any notes really of red or anything, and the head is a one finger tan brown looking head. Let's check out the aroma on this one. There's a decent amount of chocolate in here. Definitely also coffee. I do not get any roasted malt though. Just like a sweet malty presence. Not much roast really. Not any roasted malt. Maybe it's just slightly toasted. Smells nice, and also like, yeah, that's sweet malty base, but it's got a slight amount of hops in the aroma. Like a slightly bitter, hoppy, slightly floral note maybe. And then also, yeah, the dark fruit. Let's just fill it up here and have a taste. I don't think it will fit the entire beer, no. Let's give it a taste. Now that's quite thick. Not as thick as in some beers though, but it is slightly viscous. The body, it's quite creamy actually. Though, even though it's that creamy and all, I would still consider this more of a medium body than a full body. Now I do understand why they call it a porter in the taste. According to the taste, not the aroma wasn't porter like. The flavor is porter like. I know it's listed everywhere online as an old ale, but the flavor, it's got a decent amount of roast, and old ales are usually not roasted at all. They're really vinous and dark fruity. This isn't at all vinous, at least. There's a bit of dark fruit. Chocolate as well. There's a decent amount of hops in here as well. Slightly floral, bit of hops, but it's mostly in like the first couple of sips, and then it fades and turns into that coffee note. But still, it's not really roasted. It's still just slightly toasted. I do not get any vinous notes. The aroma seems more like an old ale, and the flavor seems more like a porter actually. So that's actually quite confusing. That the brewery used to label it as an old ale, and now they label it as a porter. That is maybe they've changed the recipe. I have no clue, but it's still quite good. It's very tasty. And sweet, malty notes again. It's quite malty, but definitely, maybe the new thing with this is that they've added roasted malts. Or maybe they have different versions, I'm not sure. But online on their website, it's only the Harviestoun engine oil. And it doesn't say porter on there, so that's quite strange. Maybe that's some kind of special export thing, I have no clue. Actually, when I think about it, the flavor is still as well isn't that porter-like. Even though I said, because the roast is actually, the more I drink it, the roasted malt is quite mild. It's more lightly toasted if it is anything, but roasted malt. But yeah, it does seem to me to taste like a little bit like an old ale, just with a slight amount of notes from a porter. But rating wise, I'm gonna give this an 85. I think it's a pretty good old ale. Not the best old ale I've had. I've had some really good ones, like the Gale's Trafalgar 200. You can't get that anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, it's still good. I'm looking forward to trying our Dub 12. But yeah, a 85 for the Harviestoun Old Engine Oil. That's it for this beer review, guys. Let me know what you think of the beer if you've had it. And remember to comment, subscribe, thumbs up, and check out all the videos and all that shit. And I'm gonna say cheers, guys, and I'll see you in another beer review.